Hey people, my name is Harry and this is a story about a friend that vanished and the addition of a new friend. This story may progress quickly and sometimes skips may occur. Stick with me. To start off, I'll create some background information. I'm a computer gamer that used to play MapleStory a lot. There, I met this friend. Let's call her Shana. Shana was a cheerful girl. She didn't share much about her personal life, and I'm not one to pry into people. I met her through a friend who we'll name Jack. After about a year or two, I stopped talking to both of them. At that point, I had quit the internet for about a year, which I'll talk about later. Once I got back, I was able to communicate with Jack again, and we were still good. After a short while, something triggered my memory. I remember that there was a girl named Shana. What happened to her? Jack said that he was still in contact with her, and that they would talk on and off. A little more side information. As an online gamer, I had a small gaming community that was made of friends. Let's call this our home. Jack brought Shana to our voice chat server, and we welcomed her. But after about a year or two, Shana suddenly disappeared. From here, it gets kind of strange and confusing. I had her number, so for the first time I texted her. I was told previously that the phone belonged to her family and was mostly her brother's phone. A response came back basically stating that her brother paid a visit, saying she was in the hospital from exhaustion, and I left it at that for a while. A few months passed, and I texted a few more times with no responses. Finally a response comes that says something along the lines of the phone being back in the original owner's hands. A few more months later, my friend logs onto the game, MapleStory, and states that Shana is on. I'm surprised and I decided to quickly launch the game to chat with her. Once again, this person was not her. But I had a nice conversation with him, so I invited him to our home. Strangers are cool sometimes. Let's call this guy Taren. Now, my conversation with him was very bizarre. First off, Shana didn't have a brother. What? The laptop she owned was Taren's. Okay. I also went on to ask him if he was the person I had texted, and he was, which basically explains why his messages seemed so confused. Shana never seemed to have mentioned that she played with people online, ever. So I'm puzzled now. I figured we were all close enough to not be lying to each other. Was I wrong? Tara and I became good friends and bring up the topic every once in a while, and we learned some new things. A while back, I showed Shana the famous YouTuber Tobuscus, and then Shana showed Taren, but when Taren asked how she found him, she never mentioned our home. She also occasionally watched anime with our little group, which she would also show Taren, but without ever mentioning us. MapleStory, anime, YouTube, and even when she tried League of Legends with us, we were never mentioned. It wasn't as easy as calling it a maybe we weren't friends situation. Shana spent a lot of time with us, and then suddenly she just dropped it all? That doesn't make sense to me. Then one day she logs into our voice chat server. I was asleep, but Taren was around. They didn't have mics and typed a conversation. It was along the lines of asking how everyone was doing, what was new, and she also stated that she would visit again. She also sent me a private message saying how she was and not to be worried. Wait. Taren was using an alias, Wobblefett. How did she know it was him? What? There was absolutely no way she should have known that it was him. Taren didn't realize this at first and freaked the hell out alongside with me. She hasn't shown up since that day. Now, Taren has become one of my greatest friends, and I'm happy to have met him. That's about it. The story of disappearing friend and addition of a new friend. Thanks for watching. P.S. I never liked Shana like that. I just questioned what we were to her after all that. What happened?